Well, hello everyone and welcome to Talent Talk. We are so excited to have with us today the fabulous EMONI WILKINS.
Listen, said that I will never make it without you, no one will listen to me. Talk to other ladies, even flirted with them in front of me. Told me a bunch of lies, could have had other guys. Then you made me cry, had some sleepless nights. So I got on my knees and prayed. God restored my faith, remind me of who I was, and he sent me a new love. Now I'm better than ever, baby. Better than ever, baby. You said I'll never be, you said I'll never, but I'm better than ever, baby. Better than ever, baby. You said I'll never be, you said I'll never.
If I sit back and let things that you say to me determine my worth, I could easily believe that it's something that I deserve when I'm hurt, instead of things that come straight from God. Take advantage if I'm vulnerable, putting faith in a fake facade. Cup run over now, more than full than I used to be. Get in time usually.
Hello EMONI, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great, doing better now that you're here. The audience just got a little sneak peek of your original tune, Better. And before we get into it all, I know Risa has our very first question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, EMONI, you are a force and a blessing, just beyond. I love you too, and I'm excited and nervous to have you. You're the first person that I've been nervous to interview. But my question for you is, are you? I've just as a singer, you are literally the best singer I think I've ever heard in my life, and I want to know if you're self-taught or where you found your voice. Where did you find your voice?
Well, it's interesting. This is a fun fact about me. Both of my parents sang. Okay. So my mom was a soprano. She's singing in the heavenly choir now. And my dad's sort of a crooner. So I get the best of both worlds, but I grew up in church. So that's where it all started. And my first solo, I believe I was 5, and I sang a song called It's Gonna Rain. And my mom used to tell me, and my aunt told me recently, that when it would storm, I would hide under the bed because I would think that God is coming back to get us. So that was my first solo. But yeah, so church. And then my dad would pick me up on a random day and he'd roll down the windows and we listened to Tears for Fears and Rolling Stones, and then we'd go to Dizzy Gillespie. Then we listened to all these other incredible artists, from classical music to soft rock. Yeah, so yeah.
So you were born into it, basically. Go ahead, Will. Sorry, yeah.
No, I was just gonna say that, off of that, obviously this was in your bone marrow. And on top of that, it makes sense that you had so many influences from all genres of music, EMONI, because I can't peg you, and I don't think anyone will ever, because you have the craftsmanship and the artistry to do any type of genre.
Oh, wow, thank you.
On top of all of that, EMONI, you've already had such an amazing career working with some of the best in our business. I want to know, are there any artists in particular that you had, more of a I don't want to even say that you have to compare. One was more thrill than the other. But were there any experiences thus far that have been especially special for you?
I've done so many cool things. For me, I think one of the best moments and things that I'll always remember is my mom had passed away. And some friends, this band called Ren Collective, which I absolutely love them. And they're in the CCM market. And I went and sang this song right after, I think a week and a half after I buried her. And when I left, I got back in my car and I just cried. But it was one of those moments. It was a pivotal moment when you realize that music is healing and that it's such a tool and that it's something you can use when you're sad, when you're mad, when you have joy in your heart, when you're in love. And so that was one of those moments, somebody probably like, well, maybe it was when you sang with Celine Dion or anybody else, or when you did the sing off, all of these things. But no, it's the moment when I realized after one of the biggest disappointing moments in my life, one of the most hurtful moments in my life, that's where joy comes from. And music is that.
And you know what, something I want to add to that, because that is so powerful, is that I'm just, as you're talking, it's occurring to me to say this. So I've never said this before either, but it's almost like music is also a timestamp, because whenever you hear that song again, it will take you to that joy after that pain.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the same way, so random, but this is so random, but in college, there was a Tracy Chapman song that played whenever, totally different, when I was eating spaghetti. So I'll hear a Tracy Chapman song and I'll want spaghetti. I don't know, it's bizarre, but like, it
makes you crave spaghetti.
Yeah. But she's amazing. But like, you know, my next question would be too, then, from all of the things that have happened in your life creatively, would you say like Nashville is a meeting place, and what brought you to Nashville, and when did you come to Nashville? Just curious.
Oh, that's a good question. I tell the story often. I had a lady, I was teaching kindergarten. Most people don't know that. I taught kindergarten before I moved to Nashville. Yeah, I'm a school teacher.
That's awesome.
But the coolest thing was, I had a parent come up to me and she was like, I will put together like this cool event at the end of the year, right before Christmas. And I used the word Chrismica from a show that I saw, the OC, that was on TV like years ago. And I will put together this really cool thing with my kids. And a parent came up to me and she was like, it's time for you to walk away from this and really pursue music. And I was like, I'm already doing music. Like I've done this, I've done that, I've toured, whatever. She's like, no, really, really do it. And I was like, that's not gonna happen, lady. I'm making really good money. You're crazy. And my position ended because the school was closing. Whoa. So that particular building that I was working in, like they were transitioning to do something different. And so I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, God, what's next? And I was like, shit, give me a sign, show me something. You know, people always say that, give me a sign, show me something.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on my mom's couch and I noticed this television show called Nashville. So I was like, and the commercial came on multiple times in a row, which doesn't happen on, on like those regular channels, like 2 and 5 and 7. You'll see the commercial once, maybe when there's another commercial break, you'll see it. But this particular day, it came on 3 times in a row. And so I was like, okay, maybe I need to go visit. So I went, visited, stayed with a friend, and I ended up getting a session while I was here visiting.
Oh my God.
Heavy hitters in Nashville. So that happened. I was like, I think that's kind of a sign that I need to give it a try. So I left, went to Paris. Yes, I went and sang in Paris. And I came home, packed up all my bags, and moved to Nashville.
Whoa.
Okay? Everything worked out. I had a place to live. I had, I was doing music at this church, which really wasn't a thing that I really wanted to do at that time, but it worked out perfectly. And I've been here 10 years and I absolutely love it. It's a part of my journey that I've done so many things because I always tell people I was obedient to what God's plan was for my life. And I did what I was supposed to do. And I ended up being on that show on NBC called The Sing Off. I've toured. I've sang with big artists. So it's been really cool. And I worked for Disney. I've done tons of sessions for Disney. So it's just really cool. I love my life and I'm grateful for every opportunity that I have. I consider it a blessing and I'm excited about what's next. I don't know what's next, but I'm going to have a little fun.
EMONI, what I love so much about you is that even since I'm sure you were a little girl, even in those times that were hard or filled with fear and doubt, you always somehow found it within yourself to surrender. Surrender to the possibility. And within that, you've always found your flow, guided by God, guided by your mom, guided by whomever everyone else out there might believe in. But the fact of the matter is, your bliss and your talent in your heart has always paved that road to where you needed to go next. And it doesn't surprise me that you were once a kindergarten teacher, because when I also think on top of all of the beautiful performances that you have put out there into the world in your original music, in your covers, in your reinvention of classics, but the fact that you also put out your craft and giving it away through your vocal instruction. Talk to me a little bit about that part of the EMONI brand that you love doing most in terms of, you know, teaching the kids.
The coolest thing is there's layers to each one of us that we've yet to discover. And I think during the pandemic, we had a lot of time to rediscover who we truly were. And during that season, I was like, okay, I went from touring in arenas with an artist, with Lauren Daigle actually, and to nothing, to just being at home. And you have to realize my mother passed away at the end of December 2019. So 2020, I was like, okay, how do I live now? Like, what is my life like? What do I do? How do I find my way? There aren't any musical opportunities happening. So what's next? So I was like, okay. And it came to me like clear as day. It was like God opened the heavens. It was like, remember you used to teach lessons? You need to get back to that. And so I was dating someone at the time, and they encouraged me to go ahead and pursue that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. And I did. We filmed a couple, you know, cute little videos, and people were hitting me left and right. And so I started the process, and now I have 28 students. And it's very lucrative, and I absolutely love what I do. It's more than money for me now. It's imparting into people everything that I've learned and the schooling that I can bring to it. But experience is the best teacher. So I'm teaching people how to manipulate their tone, you know, vocal dexterity, vocal health, vocal performance, which is things that I do. And yeah, I've had people come up to me all the time and be like, how are you never hoarse? Okay. You know, I just be like, well, I do this. And now I get to tell others about that process, especially my kid clients. It's the best. Like, I have so much fun with them. And Risa, you know how that is. Like with kids, it's so much fun.
Well,
and
I just want to say, it also makes, when you're on stage performing in arenas, it makes your life that much richer, knowing that there's other dimensions and things that you're doing outside of just that. Because we look forward, as artists, we look forward to that show and that give back that the show we're communicating to an audience, right? Mm-hmm. But then when you're one-on-one with someone, it's that much richer and sweeter too. It just adds to who you are as an artist. I feel, you know, like, absolutely.
I agree 1000%. So that's how that happened, and I love it. I love it.
Well, those kids should be so grateful.
Oh my gosh.
Should be charging 3 times as much. But EMONI, I will not get into that. That'll be for Talent Talk Part 2. But EMONI, you know, there's so many other questions Risa and I could ask you, but I think right now is a good time to ask you, EMONI Wilkins, are you ready for game time?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Well, EMONI, you are going to be playing our brand new game, Sing It, Guess It.
Woo!
Will, you got to blindfold up, okay? Because, EMONI, I'm going to show you like 3 pictures of things, and you can't say what the name of the picture is, but you have to describe it in singing, like making up a song about the idea of what it is, and Will has like 30 seconds to guess like what it is.
Okay. I am something that little kids take to bed.
Teddy bear?
Yeah!
Go!
When the world hits your eye like a big
pizza pie, pizza.
Yes! We're going riding on the freeway of love in a
Cadillac?
Oh, it's not that. Michael Jordan he played
basketball.
But it was
sports car.
Yeah!
Imani Wilkins, because I finally got all of 3 of your amazing, amazing clues, you are going to be given a $25 gift certificate via Venmo to the coffee shop of your choosing. Do you have a favorite coffee shop in Nashville?
Listen, I love coffee now. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I love it. I don't know what happened to me. Like,
wait, you love it like beginning today because you won the $25, or just?
No, I love it because I just started drinking it because it keeps me awake because I work.
Yes.
I love it. Well,
Yes.
Talent Talk will be giving you a $25 little cha-ching into your Venmo after this show, and you get yourself whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want it.
So Imani, I'm so excited to ask, is there any new music coming on down the pipeline soon?
Yes, it is. So I'm gonna be working on something really soon. I don't want to talk about it prematurely.
No problem.
But this summer, I said I just want to take covers of songs and just put them out like on SoundCloud and stuff. But in the fall, I will be releasing more music. So you can look forward to that. I'm super excited. If you don't know already, I have a song out called Pesto and another song, it's called Better, featuring my friend Petty 615. Everybody knows him. He's incredible. So if you can grab that today, tell all of your friends, stream it, buy it. It's on all digital outlets. So.
Well, I love it, Imani. And Imani, because the audience got a little sneak peek of Better at the beginning of the episode, I'm curious, could you sing us out like a little 30-second of Pesto?
Sure, I sure can. Baby, loving you give to me drives me so crazy. And every morning I'm waking up saying, baby, how did we get to this point where love took over? And now I'm dreaming about you. I'm thinking about you, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Imani Wilkins, there are very few people on this earth that I could say the following to, but I'm going to say it to you right now. You have the it factor.
Oh, yes.
Not only with your talent, but Imani, with your spirit. The fact that you literally and figuratively wake up every day, and I'm just meeting you, but I know this about you. You wake up as a vessel, in a vessel for good, okay? And your light is brighter than I think you even know and think, because I'm just meeting you today over Zoom, and I feel it in New York City.
You're about to make me cry. Come on.
Can I jump in and just say that the way I met Imani in an airport. We were picking up baggage. I don't know if you remember, and I'm gonna cry, but at the time, I was traveling a ton on the road and I missed my sister. And my sister actually has a huge, beautiful fro. That's what her hair is. And your hair that day was this beautiful, large, gorgeous fro. And I went up to you and I said, hey, excuse me, I don't know you, but your hair reminds me of my sister. I miss her so much. You could have been like, thanks, have a nice day. Instead, you took my hands and you were like, who are you? What's your name? I get emotional because, and then you were like, hey, I'm playing downtown at Printer's Alley. Do you want to come see me? And you kind of took me in and made me your friend. You were one of my first friends in Nashville. Look at me, I'm crying. And I'm so blessed to know you and just thank you for being my friend.
Oh man,
now you got me going. It's too early. But listen, Imani, you have this effect on people, and I'm so grateful to have met you, Risa. Thank you so much for introducing me to Imani.
Yes.
And now you're on my radar, Imani, so I'm sorry, but you'll never be off of it. I apologize, but I am not sorry.
It's okay. Maybe I'll come to New York and be on Broadway or something.
Well, and I'll direct you.
That's one of my dreams.
Will is a Broadway director. So
are you kidding me?
No. So welcome.
Get out of here.
No.
Well,
welcome.
Oh gosh.
This conversation will not stop after today, but Imani Wilkins, thank you so much for joining us today on Talent Talk.
Of course. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.